You were told to be agreeable, polite, easygoing. That keeping the peace earns loyalty. That kindness guarantees respect. But it doesn't. Being liked and being respected are not the same. And being feared, when earned the right way, sets a tone that silence and smiles never will. Here's the truth. The man who tries to please everyone is never taken seriously. He's dependable, but forgettable. Present, but never in charge. He fades into the background, while others, less qualified but more grounded, command the room. This video isn't about becoming a bully. It's about learning what makes certain men impossible to ignore. The ones who don't just walk in, they shift the energy when they do. The men who don't raise their voice, yet never have to repeat themselves. You don't need to change your nature, but you do need to stop playing small. It's time to develop presence, sharpen your edge, and carry yourself in a way that turns heads without saying a word. Respect starts from within. Fear, when grounded in strength and consistency, keeps weak behavior at bay. Let's get into the mindset and habits that make men unforgettable. Respect isn't given freely. It's earned through consistency, conviction, and clarity. Most men misunderstand this. They assume that being liked means they're respected, but those are two different currencies, and one is far more valuable. Respect is built when people see you operate with principle. It shows up when your behavior aligns with your words, especially under pressure. Fear, when it's rooted in discipline rather than threat, adds a layer of seriousness to your presence. It means others think twice before crossing your boundaries, not because you're dangerous, but because you're immovable. Real fear doesn't come from loudness. It comes from a presence that signals control. A man who speaks deliberately, moves with intention, and holds the line without flinching becomes someone others instinctively monitor. Not because he intimidates, but because he doesn't bend. People don't follow unpredictability, they follow steadiness. And they don't respect appeasement. They respect decisions that aren't compromised to avoid discomfort. You command attention by being centered. Your tone matters. Your timing matters. Even your silence speaks volumes. What many miss is that fear, when healthy, isn't cruelty. It's clarity. It's the recognition that you operate by standards that won't shift just to be accepted. That makes you rare, and rarity commands weight in any room. People are drawn to those who hold structure in a world full of chaos. When others feel safe in your clarity and cautious around your discipline, you've earned both respect and restrained fear, the kind that builds loyalty, not distance. You don't need to posture, you don't need theatrics. Just show up aligned with purpose, and people will take notice before you speak. And here's the shift. Stop chasing approval. Start building consistency. Respect will follow, and with it, a presence others naturally adjust to. Before we go further into building unshakable confidence, I have a quick ask. I'm working toward 1,000 subscribers, and your support helps amplify this message. If this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Let's raise the standard together. Confidence isn't about walking into a room and believing you're better than everyone. It's about knowing you don't need to compare at all. Real confidence is quiet. It's not born from praise or recognition. It's built through repetition and self-trust. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce the belief that your word means something. That's where inner stability grows. You don't become unshakable by avoiding failure. You become that way by facing it, learning, and continuing forward without losing your footing. Every challenge you overcome becomes evidence, and that evidence silences doubt. Most men think confidence comes from visible wins, but true strength comes from what others don't see. Early mornings, small decisions, uncomfortable conversations. That's the foundation. That's where resilience is shaped. When you stop outsourcing your self-worth, whether through validation, titles, or approval, you start to build something permanent. You no longer fear rejection, because you know rejection doesn't change your value. You no longer freeze in uncertainty, because you trust your ability to adapt. This confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't need constant reassurance. It shows up consistently, in how you stand, in how you speak, in how you hold your frame when others waver. The man who leads with certainty doesn't need to dominate. His composure does the work for him. If you want to become unshakable, stop chasing big moments. Focus on keeping the small promises you make to yourself, daily. That's how self-respect is formed. That's how confidence sticks, even when everything else shifts. When a man speaks with conviction, people stop guessing. Assertive communication eliminates confusion. It's the skill that separates those who are heard from those who are ignored. Assertiveness is not volume. It's not force. It's the ability to say exactly what you mean, without apology, without aggression. It's clarity wrapped in calm. Most people stumble in communication because they either soften their message to avoid discomfort or escalate it out of frustration. Assertiveness lives in the middle. It delivers truth with balance. It begins with knowing your intention. Before you speak, ask, what's the outcome I want from this exchange? Then speak directly to that, nothing more, nothing less. Keep your tone neutral but firm. Use words that anchor your stance. This isn't acceptable. I need this done by tomorrow. That's not something I'm available for. These are clear. They don't invite debate. They set the tone. Avoid explaining your boundaries like you owe justification. Over-explaining weakens your message. You're not seeking permission, you're stating position. Nonverbal cues matter. Eye contact, steady pacing, relaxed shoulders. They all communicate self-assurance before a single word leaves your mouth. Presence reinforces the weight of your words. Assertive men don't chase agreement. They're comfortable standing alone when necessary. They know that not everyone will like what they say, and that's fine, because truth has more value than comfort. Respect is earned, fear is triggered. Want to know how to master both? Watch part 2 for the exact steps.